Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Straight to the Point. And I'll come straight to the point on the issue of the struggle of the people of Sancoale and other parts of the taluka against the Bhutani project, known as the Bhutani project, the massive construction, villa and new swimming pool construction project that is coming up in Sancoale. Apparently there's going to be large number of villas and over 700 swimming pools that are coming up with each of the villas. We are aware, most people in Goa are aware of what the controversy is, but the flashpoint here is that the Panchayat of Sancoale had issued a show cause notice to Ramesh Construction, which is doing the constructions for Bhutani, and they were supposed to reply to the show cause notice, which they did. Instead of taking further action against that show cause notice and going ahead with what they had to do, the Panchayat surprisingly decided to engage two legal representatives for a legal opinion on whether the construction should be allowed or whether the construction license should be revoked or not. Both the lawyers interestingly gave views that Bhutani was right and the construction should not be stopped. Incidentally, the fees to these lawyers, as we've come to know, was certainly paid, as was decided with them. But the question mark now raises is whether financial approvals were given for the payment of these fees to the lawyers. That again apparently seems to be a grey area, which is slowly turning from grey to black, because it is indeed coming to light that the proper financial approvals for these payments were not made. This is just a background. What has now happened is that based on these developments, Bhutani has got a fresh wind and decided to follow the orders that they right now have to restart or at least carry out the construction process again. And they are armed with an order from the High Court, which allows them to seek police protection, apparently on the pretext that there are people who are protesting. There could be violent protests. So it is Bhutani which is now under the protection of the state, and they have recently started coming in with their machines along with the police who are at the back. This obviously has irked the people, because they feel that the might of the state is protecting a builder against whom a lot of protests have been going on by the people, and they see this as a betrayal of people's sentiments and people's demands. However, on the other hand, Bhutani will turn around and say that, look, we are armed with all the court orders and legalities. The problem here is that one needs to understand that the sentiment of the people and the obvious important points that they've raised need to be considered also in the backdrop of the fact that a PIL is already in the High Court filed by the people of Sancoale to grant a stay against this project, and that jury is still out. What needs to be understood here is that this is purely and clearly becoming a fight between the locals and against a major project which is seen as being backed by the state. So it is again yet another example of a people versus the government situation, which is not good in any democracy. There are people who've sat on hunger strikes. There are people in the Panchayat, including the very brave Tulsidas Naik, who've spoken out. People are still speaking very bravely, saying that we may be quiet, but we have not forgotten. We are not lying low. We will not allow this project, which is going to destroy the entire ecology, the groundwater and the essence of identity and life here completely. At the other hand, obviously they are up against a very big opponent. We're armed with a lot of legal ammunition, and a government that clearly seems to be on the side of the builder and not with the people.